dog-eat-dog world, and it was controlled by gangsters.
I rest my case.
Gangsters.
The answer was, I realized one very important thing. Throw the word degree out of your vocabulary. Yeah. The music business. A degree in music, a degree in business, a degree in what? No, man. This was street degree.
Right. Street psychology,
Yeah,
too.
what did the guy tell me? He said, I'll tell you the best course I ever took in life. And this is a true story. He said, you schoolboys are funny, man. He says, you all learn how to account for the money. He says, we count the money. And I said, okay, so what does that mean? He says, somebody's got to teach you how to steal.
Oh, God.
No. Best lesson I ever took in my whole life. Because once you learn how to steal the money,
you know how to stop.
You know how to stop people from stealing.
Yeah. There's so many stories of bad deals. I mean, I was reading an excerpt from this book, and I don't know if it's true. It's a guy that thinks that Hendrix was killed rather than he died. And he thinks that what was going on was that Hendrix was leaving his management. And his management had him locked up in some crazy contract. They were stealing money from him. And they thought that he'd be more valuable dead since they owned the records.
Lionel Richie reveals the negative aspects of the music industry in the 1970s in this clip. Take a look.
This is like you coming from the 70s, in the professional business from the 70s on, dealing with, and that was the business back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Look at Phil Spector. The guy's in jail now for shooting a woman in the mouth in his house.
The story of Jimi Hendrix is insane. Jimi Hendrix was at the height of his popularity in the late 1960s. Despite all of his accomplishments, he was having problems with Michael Jeffrey, his manager. They had a poisonous connection. Hendrix thought Jeffrey was embezzling his money and felt stuck in poor contracts. Hendrix was then discovered dead in London in 1970. He suffocated on his own vomit, and the official reason was an overdose of barbiturates, which are essentially potent sleeping medications. The death was declared unintentional. However, his former roadie, James Tappy Wright, published a book titled Rock Roadie in 2009. This was decades later. Wright asserted in it that Jeffrey had admitted to killing Hendrix. He claimed that Jeffrey was afraid Hendrix would fire him. He therefore devised a brilliant scheme. According to reports, he purchased a $2 million life insurance policy on Hendrix the day, which is worth roughly $15 million, and he designated himself as the sole beneficiary in the event that Hendrix passed away. According to Wright, Michael Jeffrey, Hendrix's manager, acknowledged killing him by making him consume drugs and red wine, which seemed to be an overdose. Everything went according to plan. Jeffrey held ownership of the song rights and received the insurance settlement following Hendrix's passing. Jeffrey was lucky when Hendrix's music became extremely popular after his passing. However, that good fortune was short-lived. Michael Jeffrey passed away in a plane crash in 1973, just 3 years later. Karma, so the saying goes, caught up with him. Some referred to it as coincidence. In any case, the tales of both men ended tragically.
Yeah, I mean, the answer is, there is a one moment when I looked into my mom and dad's face, and I said, they just stole $363,000 from me. And my mother said, you leave those people alone and come home. And I go, no, Mom. It only cost me $362,000 to learn that lesson. It's never gonna happen again. And I was so excited about it. She looked at me and said, my son's crazy.
That is a crazy response.
But the answer is
very logical.
You can lose millions.
Right.
You can lose billions.
Sure.
Okay, so if it only took me $362,000, I got off light, man.
Yeah.
You understand me?
For sure.
But and not only that, can you keep your life? I mean, just think about it. When you go to the box office, everybody had a gun. Now, here's the beautiful part about it, because I knew that later. Nobody's going to shoot anybody. It's just how naive were you? If you were naive and a little schoolboy, you could get shot and killed. But as you started learning who the gangsters are, that was just an intimidating factor. Right. But you had to be, once you knew them, then they go, come on, Lionel, just covers a little bit, you know. But
That's even more disconcerting. They become normal.
they become normal.
That's what gets weird.
That's what gets weird.
When you're around normalized gangsters.
That's exactly
Yikes.
right. And then your mother starts meeting them on their way to Miami. They would drive, and they stop by Tuskegee to see the schoolboys. And here's a guy dead of homecoming season in a full head-to-toe mink hat, mink coat, pink Eldorado.
Pink Eldorado.
Driving across
my
the campus, and you go to your instructors. Yeah, this is my my friend, Tall Paul. I got all kind of things. Got names for him. We had oh my God, we had names. You can't make this up.
Yeah.
You know, and how do you introduce them to the president of the university? The answer is you don't.
Right.
You don't do it. You don't.
You don't. God. What was it like navigating that world?
It was, Joe, one of the most exciting things ever. Why? I never experienced anything like this before.
Right.
I mean, listen.
Who does?
Listen, you mean, wait, see, we played gangster. They weren't playing gangster.
Right.
You follow me?
Right.
So we are with the gangsters.
Right.
And it just became so another world where, what the guys say, in our world, Lionel, it's not how long you live, it's how well you live while you're living. Now, that's a profound statement from him. I don't want to know anything about that, but you have to listen, right?
Yeah.
They don't plan on living a long life, but they plan on living well while they're here.
Right.
So it's nothing to say when you go back to New York for the next summer. Whatever happened to so-and-so? Oh, yeah, he got shot in December. Oh,
Normal.
okay.
Normalized.
That's normal.
Yeah.
He's leaving town.
What transpired with Phil Spector is as follows. He was among the most well-known music producers of his era. An absolute mess outside of the studio, but a genius inside. He was domineering, paranoid, and frequently armed. In the past, he had a habit of keeping ladies around when he didn't want them to. Actress Lana Clarkson allegedly attempted to leave his residence in 2003, but Spector blocked her. She was shot in the mouth during that horrific confrontation. Evidence refuted Spector's assertion that it was an accident. He died in 2021 after being found guilty of murder in 2009.